Whoa! What's up, man? I'm looking like you, man.
Come on, man. You don't have a barbershop in your house or what?
No, not like you.
Come on, man. Look, gave myself a little edge up right there. I worked on the stash right there. Worked on my side, on my sideburns.
That's an edge up?
You don't think it looks good?
That's an edge up?
Come on. I mean, I don't have it perfect. Hey, man. Look, I appreciate you allowing me to interview you today. I mean, this is awesome. I feel like today is the week that we're really starting to feel it right now. I mean, being at home, the cabin fever is really starting to set in, isn't it?
Man, it is unbelievable, man. It is unbelievable. I feel like it's a dream. I feel like I'm stuck inside of Groundhog's Day, the movie. That's what it feels like, man. It is unreal.
Well, look, we're all getting through it, and we have to, right? There's a lot of people out there that are really struggling. There's a lot of people out there that are suffering. But that's why we're doing this interview series, right? That's why we're doing this live. I just want to say hello to everybody. My name is Dhani Jones, and I get the fortunate opportunity to spend some time with my main man, Spice Adams. We're going to be talking about a lot of things having to do with his life, which is a tremendous story, giving people some hope as well as some inspiration, but also kind of like diving into the details of really who you are. And for me, as I said, I'm grateful, but we're also helping raise money for a lot of people that are in need, right? Give Together Now, GiveTogetherNow.org is really helping get money into the hands of families that need that money the most. And guess what? People out there, we've raised $17 million.
Got to put the hand clap emojis.
$17 million. That's close to 35,000 families that are going to each get $500 a piece. And we really hope that people are getting something out of this conversation that helps you thrive during these challenging situations and really inspires you. So, Spice, welcome to the show. I know I've seen all your content out there. I've seen you on roller skates, man. I've seen everything. I mean, I saw you dancing in Deep Nice's club quarantine. How do you, number one, how do you keep track of all these characters that you got going on in the back of your mind? And number two, how do you prepare for all this? How do you get into those characters?
Man, it's basically just everything I've seen, from family reunions to family get-togethers. All my uncles and friends of the family will come over and be shooting dice and playing spades and playing dominoes and grilling and like some of everything, man. So it's basically what I observed growing up. And I know exactly what I want them to look like. I know exactly what I want to say. And sometimes I just put the camera on the tripod, then I just go. Or if I have somebody with me that I want to tape something, I say, man, just hit record. And like, whatever comes up, I just edit it and put it up on Instagram and social media and everything like that, man. And it's been crazy. And the outfits, man, like I say, I know exactly how I want them to look. I go and get them. I go to the old head store, and they already know it. They see me coming. They're like, oh man, here we go, man. Here comes Spice. We got something new in.
Do you have anything in your routine that's a little bit different? Oh, and by the way, we're getting a little feedback from you, so if you could turn down your volume a little bit. I think
okay.
Feedback loop. I want to make sure everybody hears exactly what you're talking about. The thing about Instagram Live is it's so flexible, but it's also such an ever-changing thing. But what I was saying is, how do you get into those routines, right? Because you might have the characters, you might have the people, you might have the family that you can kind of piece it together. But then there's got to be a way that you can get into it. And as we're thinking about this like a master class in those that are creating content, give people sort of a slice of how do you of preparedness.
I kind of think with the end in mind, like how I want to end the video, and then I'll work my way towards the beginning. And I already know the story that I want to tell, the story that I want to portray. And then I just, how am I going to end it? I need like something to make it stand out. And so I might do something like on my Bluetooth or something like that. And like I know like I'm gonna end it right there. And then I just work my way backwards. Or sometimes I kind of just ad lib. I kind of just improv. Like I just put the camera in front of me, then then I just go. But it took a long time to get to that spot, just to get in front of the camera and just start, acting or, acting out a particular character or whatever. But I used to just put the camera in front of me and then just start talking. And then I would watch myself, and it would be like the hardest thing in the world. It's just like how we used to do with football.
Right.
You got to watch the practice, or you got to watch the game, as uncomfortable as that is. And so like when you first start off, I got a microphone, and I may notice that I keep saying, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean? And I'll try to correct that. And each time I would get better and better. And then that's when I started doing Big Ten Network and getting behind the desk and start analyzing some of these college games and stuff like that for the Big Ten Network. And it was great, man. And through all of these videos that I do on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, I started getting job offers, just like how I have Inside the Bears that I do here locally in Chicago, and then Big Ten Network, and now Great American Bacon Show on ABC. So it's been a fun ride, man, because I really had no plan once I was done with football, because I was just strictly focusing on football. I really didn't have time for anything else. It was lifting weights, it was, stretching, getting massages, like everything was geared towards football. So I had no idea what I was going to do after that.
I mean, but you started off with basketball, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if it was the size at basketball that didn't allow you to necessarily get the ups you needed in order to ball out like you should? Or was it that you just felt like you just needed a little hand-to-hand combat?
Man, look, this what it was. I never liked football because I thought it was boring. It's like 4 hours, and you sit there and you watch, like, in offense is going to be run or pass. And I'm just like, man, I can't sit here and watch 4 hours of this. And but in my neighborhood in Detroit, we had the Pistons, the bad boys. So it's all about Isaiah, Dennis Rodman, John Sally, Vinnie Johnson, Joe Dumars. It was all about the bad boys. So we used to roll out the basketball rim, and when a car comes, we say, "Hey, car," we stop play, then we'll resume play. And we just played basketball in my neighborhood. So. We played two-hand touch and stuff like that in the street, and sideline pop. We used to call it sideline pop. Anywhere where it was grass, you could tackle. But other than that, it was two-hand touch. But I never wanted to play football because I thought it was boring. And then all my cousins that I played with in my neighborhood, they would say, "Hey, man, you will get hurt playing football and stuff like that." So I was like, "Nah, man, I'm going to play basketball." And so that's what I did around my neighborhood until, I've been this same size and height since I was like 12. So I've been, 6 foot, 300 pounds since I was 12. So my mom was like, "You gonna play football, boy." Van Lathan, you will not hoop on me. You will not hoop on me, Van Lathan. No, you can't. I get you in the post. It's canceled Christmas. It's over. But anyways, like I was saying, Dhani, my mom just dropped me off. In Detroit, it's 3 top schools: Cass King, Renaissance. I wanted to go to King because all my family went there. I wanted to go to Martin Luther King. So I passed the test. So upon me passing the test, you will not give me work, Van Lathan. I passed the test. So my mom was like, "All right, bet." She took me up to the high school. Mind you, I'm in some jean shorts. I got on some low top K-Swiss, the white joints. I got on like a tank top. Mom's like, "Get in the car." I'm like, "Huh?" I can hear it in her voice that it was like something wasn't right, like something's about to go down. I'm like, "Man, I done cleaned my room. I took out the trash. I did the dishes. Like, I don't know what. Get in the car." I'm like, "All right." I get in the car. She take me up to King, Martin Luther King High School, drop me off. I get out the car. I'm about to close the door. She said, "Introduce yourself to that coach over there." So I'm like, I closed the door. So I'm like, him right here. And by the time I turned, she was gone.
She was out of, she left you?
She dipped. She was out. I'm like, man, she burnt out. And so I was like, man. So I went to introduce myself to the coach, and he was like, go run a lap, walk a lap. And so I did that, and then we did like all of these jumping jacks and everything together. You know, I was the only child, so I didn't have any brothers and sisters. So this felt like, man, I feel like I'm a part of something, man. Oh, man. So we did all of these exercises and everything, lift weights, had this little practice or whatever. And then when my mom came back to pick me up, man, I was like, I gave her a big hug. I was like, thank you, Mom. That was fun. That was great. Like, I was talking to her like I never talked before. You know how it is when you 14 years old, you cool. You know, my mom don't understand this, man. You know, it's a struggle for me.
Don't get it. She don't understand.
Yeah, she don't. Parents, I like Will Smith's song. Parents just don't understand. You know, but when she picked me up, man, I was talking to her like never before, man. I was just thanking her for dropping me off and everything. It was cool. I don't know if that answered your question. That was pretty long-winded.
No. It definitely answered my question. And I know a lot of people out there, they want to hear these stories of your origination, and that's really that's really what Give Together Now is all about. Is about raising money for these families in need, but really want to hear the stories of where you've come from. And that's why, as I said, we're doing it. But now you went from basketball, and then your mom threw you in football.
Yeah.
You played for that other team, Penn State, Happy Valley. I think we played against each other one time. I went to the University of Michigan. For those of y'all don't know.
Dhani, blame Lloyd Carr.
Well, what happened?
Blame Lloyd Carr.
I wasn't your recruiter. I wasn't the one that was trying to help out. So what happened with Lloyd?
Listen,
don't talk about my coach now. You can talk around the coach.
I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked.
Come on, don't give him everything. Just tell him
I'll tell you what. No, we keeping it real. Now you want to keep it real? Let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck.
Well, go ahead then. Go ahead then.
All right. Now, my teammate Anthony Morris was getting recruited by Penn State, and so he was like, "Go up here to this camp with me." And I was like, he was an upperclassman. I was going in at 10th grade. And so he was going to be a senior. So he was like, why don't you go to this camp with me? So I'm like, oh, snap. I got a senior who's getting recruited by everybody asking me to go to a camp.
Right.
I'm like, dude. So I go talk to my mom. I say, Mom, please let me go to this camp. I said, I think it was like $288. She was like, okay. So I'm like, bet I get to go to this camp with one of the upperclassmen? Yes. So I go to this camp, first time on the plane. I was like, 15, 16, something like that. Go to this camp, and Dhani turned the camp out.
Okay.
Turned it out, dog.
Was that the camp I showed up to?
Huh?
Did I come talk at your camp? I might have.
I don't know. You old enough. You probably did. You probably was like.
So what happened?
I was like 16. You was like 24.
You turned the break camp out. And what happened?
So look, they told me to go half speed on all of these drills. Dude, I went full blast on everything. Everything. And mind you, I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I went in for linebacker, which I never played before in my life.
First of all, how are you going to play linebacker at 6'305"?
Bruh, I was coachable. If you told me to run through a brick wall, I'll run through two.
Okay, go ahead.
They say play to the whistle. I played to the echo of the whistle. Dog, I'm from Detroit, man. We blue collar, man. Like, I work, man. So, you know, every drill, I was giving like maximum effort, dog. Everything. Staying after, asking for work. Like, hey, man, you got anything extra I can do? Some drills, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Even that, like, going full blast. They say go half speed. I'm like, nah. Like, I am going hard. So by the end of the camp, they like, man, look at this dude. This dude, 285, 6 foot. This dude is sprinting everywhere. Like, you know how they do us. The D lineman is like way on the other side of the field. and like all the
That's because
drills
that's
are
because we know
200
that's the
yards
only
away from them.
that's because we know that's the only workout you're gonna get.
Whatever.
You know,
Anyway,
it's not gonna happen during the off season. It's got to happen during the season. So make sure you all run the distance. But keep going.
I'm sprinting while everybody else jogging. So like I refuse to be last in any of this. So by the end of the camp, they done offered me a scholarship. Now, mind you, my first time on a football field, the coach told me to line up at guard. True story. I said point guard or shooting guard. I had no idea what a guard was. I knew quarterback, I knew running back, I knew wide receiver, linebacker, but I didn't know I didn't know center, I didn't know guard, I didn't know tackle, I didn't know tight end, none of that. So I'm coming off of that going into my sophomore year. And mind you, I'm out there playing linebacker too on defense.
Okay.
So they like, man, look at this kid. This dude is like, he's unreal. And so by the end of the camp, they offered me a scholarship. And so I was like, but anyways, with Lloyd Carr, so after that, Penn State started, going after me hard. And so I think Michigan kind of just took on, and Michigan State, they kind of just took on the role of, well, he's from Michigan, so he's going to have to come here, either Michigan or Michigan State. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of the road that they took. But I went up to y'all spring game to watch Braylon, because Braylon went to my high school too.
Okay.
And so I went up there to watch him, and y'all had like some like dinner or something like that somewhere. And I'm sitting down there about to get something to eat. And Lloyd comes and sits next to me. And he just looks at me like, so I'm like, I'm just trying to eat my food. And so he just come down and sit next to me like this and just looks at me in my eye. And he said, why? How come you didn't come here? I said, man, you answer that for me. How come I didn't come here? You know what I'm saying? But they took on that role of, since you from Michigan, then you got to come here. And so
you felt that you felt as though we didn't recruit you heavily enough, and you didn't get the love that you deserve because of the fact that you're from the Detroit area.
It wasn't that. Like I was going to go to Penn State anyway. I wanted to just get out of Michigan, period.
It's okay. We all make the decisions that we make.
I knew what you were doing when you asked the question. I knew it.
It's okay. It's good that you decided to go to Happy Valley. I, on the other hand, had a great experience at the greatest university, University of Michigan. Don't make me pull out my sound effects, because one of the things that I've learned over this amount of time of talking to people is that you got to be prepared at all costs. So if you want me to put in something like this, like let's see, wait. See, I've got sound effects in the background, Spice, so you can't say anything. Look at this. Look at this. I got magic glass. Winning. Hey, I've got all different types of things in the background because I recognize who I'm with. So let's just dial it back. Okay, look, what Stand Together is really all about, is we're giving money to Give Together now.org, is about helping people identify, or really talking about their unique gifts. And I think one of the things that's so powerful about your story is that your mother, your grandmother, they were so behind you, and they were able to recognize these things. But your upbringing was not that easy.
Yeah.
And there was other people around you that recognized those gifts, that gave you support in the way that might have been different than other people.
Yeah. Like I said, I was the only child. It was just my mom and myself. And my dad went to prison when I was 4. And so it was different. You've seen a lot of violence and a lot of shootings. One of the friends of the family got shot down the street from us. I used to go, like you was talking about the skates. I used to go to this place called Royal Skateland off Alta Road. I used to go every weekend, and somebody got shot in there, like while I was there. So I'm playing, I don't know what it was. I think it was like Street Fighter or something like that. And right next to the Street Fighter was the emergency exit door.
Right.
And I guess some of these guys couldn't get inside of skating land, and they got into a beef with somebody. And next thing you know, they came around to the exit door and shot through the exit door. And I'm playing on a video game like right next to it. So I hear like boom, 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 and I'm thinking somebody knocking on the door. So I'm playing on the video game or whatever, and I hear like people screaming and everything like that. And I like turn around and there's somebody like clutching their stomach on the skating rink. So I'm like,
Wow.
man, like imagine if my game had ended and I just like skated by, just to get onto the rink, like I would have got shot, So I mean, it was rough growing up in the inner city of Detroit, but my mom sheltered me away from a lot of that stuff, and got me into different schools, and had me in like all of these different summer classes, and then she made me play football. So, she always kept me occupied and always talked to me, and always wanted to see where my head was at, because my dad is in jail.
Mm.
And a lot of my family members have been in and out of jail. So, she wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to end up there too. So my mom did a great job.
Yeah, and a lot of things with Gift Together now is going to some of these families that
Yeah.
are living below the poverty line, and that need that assistance. And so, those that are out there, that's really what this is all about. Do you have any advice for those families that are financially insecure, what they need to do right now?
I would say just keep the faith and just keep plugging away. You never know when a stand together organization may come through and just give you a couple of dollars here and there and whatever, and don't be scared to take help. My family and I, we used to be on food stamps and stuff like that. I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed of. You got to start somewhere, and they say it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Right.
So at the end of it all, you'll be able to give your testimony and, do something like how I'm doing now, like I'm talking about it and I'm trying to give advice and also inspire different people to say you don't have to be a product of your environment, because that's what my mom did with me. Like she got me out of that type of stuff because she wanted different from me.
It's powerful. I just had to kind of take that in for a minute, because what you're saying and where you've come from kind of created this community around you. And
They said we need some assistance with our haircuts. Come on, Izzy.
Look, if anybody can figure out how to give a haircut through Zoom or give a haircut through IG Live, or we can throw a hat on or something like that just to kind of cover it up. I've got a cowboy hat I can put on. There's a lot of different things. Like I said, I told you, I was prepared. Like, hey y'all, this is Dhani Jones coming to talk to you live with. Sorry, I don't want to get off subject. I've got a couple of hats here because I know Spice Adams does things that are a lot different. But as we were talking to D Nice, we were talking about the essence of his music, bringing together the communities through love. I think you're bringing the communities together through comedy, and it's got to be hard right now because you got to create so much content, but it's also at the same time tough because you got to be able to balance that in your family. How do you do that?
Well, they already know, like, this is what I do now. So for instance, I had on a floral suit yesterday, and I was recording a video that I posted last night, and I walked in the house and the kids were like, "Hey, Dad." I'll come in with an orange suit, like fully decked, Dumb and Dumber, orange suit, orange cane, everything. Kids would just be like, "Oh, hey, Dad, we're shooting a video." Like they're used to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes they offer to be the cameraman or a camerawoman, and they're just like, "Go ahead, Dad, I got it." So they know like this is what I do now. And in times like this, you got to laugh to keep from crying. You know, and I think that, you know, what D Nice is doing, and a lot of comedians, D Nice, I just did something with Def Jam where it said Entertainer was the host, and they raised close to $100,000. So at times like this, I think everybody's going on live right now and trying to entertain folks, which is great because it keeps your mind off what is going on right now. You know, I got a lot of people who are definitely affected by the coronavirus. Some of my old teammates have the coronavirus, and some of their loved ones have died from it. You know, so I mean, it really hits home. You know, I've been praying for a lot of my family and friends, and you know, just for the simple fact that they'll call me and say, "Hey, man, that video you did, it really got me through some tough times, man. I really appreciate that." So that makes me want to, you know, make more videos because, you know, people really need to see it and want to see it in times like these.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to people that are trying to make people laugh, that have that gift? What advice would you give them as they're sitting at home right now?
The best advice would be, don't try to go viral. Don't do it. Like, just, if you want to make people laugh and you feel like that's your gift, then just do something. Don't try to do something in order to gain some type of fame or something like that. It will never work. It will never work. I mean, I've put together some videos where I had the lighting perfect. I had my microphone where it needed to be. I had my editing great. I'm shooting in 4K, like all of this stuff. And
Oh,
I'm like,
perfect.
oh man, this is about to go crazy. And then it'd be like 1,000 views or something like that. It'd be like, man. But then when I put together something stupid or something that I think is just like, this will never do anything. Just like
Right.
the Cream Bigums thing. I didn't want to put that video out. I thought it was the stupidest thing in the world. I'm in my garage. I'm doing all of these different basketball moves on air. It's like nobody guarded me. I'm like, this is stupid. And so it was like in the back of my phone. Like I had already had it edited and everything. And I was in Indiana because my son does track and field. We were at Ball State, and I was dozing off. And so right before I went to sleep, I was like, forget it, man. It's in my phone. I'm gonna just post. The finals are on. I think it was LeBron was in Cleveland at the time. And so I was like, man, I'm just gonna put it out. So I put it out. I fell asleep. I woke up, my phone is is going crazy. Notifications like crazy. Everybody's like, Kevin Hart just posted your video.
What?
So I'm like,
Wait a
Kevin
minute.
Hart posted my video. I was like, maybe he commented on the video, but he didn't take my video and put it on his page. Like, this
Right.
man is a full-blown comedian. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the biggest stars in the world. Like, there's no way he did that. So I go to his page, and sure enough, that same video I thought was stupid, he posted it on his page. So I'm like, oh man. So then after he did that, then Jamie Foxx posted, then House of Highlights, then Sports Center, and then like it went viral like crazy, whatever. But it was just a video that I thought was stupid. But I put it out, and you know, the thing went viral. Now Cream Bigums is in a video game. He's an NBA Live. You
Well,
can 89 rating, one higher than Magic Johnson.
well, I hope you're getting some licensing money over Cream Bigums.
Cream is that guy.
I know because I know you have your MBA, Masters of Business Administration. So I know you got your business on lockdown with No Plan Productions.
Yes,
Give
sir.
it a shout out. And for everybody in the background, you know, my name is Dhani Jones, and you know, Spice and I are talking about not only his life but the things that he's been through, and we're helping raise money for GiveTogetherNow.org. Give Together #GiveTogetherNow. And there's been a lot of families that are in need that are going to get these $500 checks, close to 35,000 families. For those that are out there that don't know, $17 million raised. And I just want to say from the comment section, you know, there's a first responder, Sean. He said, I'm a first responder, and your videos just to give you a shout out, Spice, your videos have definitely helped my crew get me through some tough shifts, especially when we run difficult calls. So thank you for that. So I want to make sure that I give Sean a shout out.
Sean, appreciate you, man.
And Spice, you a shout out because I think you're bringing a lot of joy to people. And so, you know, what's it like for you to be able to join shows like this, Stand Together Live, and help bring awareness for causes really that help people through tough times?
It's great. It's, you know, you're lifting as you climb, you know, and you know, each one teach one, and just a little bit can go a long way. Like the little time and effort sometimes that I put into this video, you never know if a first responder is gonna be watching it, and
Right.
it's getting him through his day, and that man has way more to deal with than I do here at my house, you know. So just if you can just think of, you know, having faith the size of a mustard seed, that's all that you need. And, you know, like I think like Stand Together and everybody that's helping all of these families is the best in the world.
And I think it's it's about helping really others succeed. And there's a lot of people that are on the front lines, our first responders, all the doctors that are in the emergency room, in the hospitals that are taking care of all these patients that unfortunately have COVID-19. And I know you've done a lot of work with charities over the years. You know, is that why this is also important to you?
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, a lot of people grew up in the same type of predicament that I was in, where, you know, they come from a single parent home. And so I think it's important for me to, you know, give back and also give information. A lot of people think that, you know, when you give back, it's all financial. Like, I think people respect your time more so than they respect your money, because anybody can just be like, okay, man, here's $100, or, you know, here's $50, and, you know, go do X, Y, and Z with it. But if you take out your time and really talk to somebody and say, hey, look, this is what I grew up in, and this is how I dealt with it, and this is what I'm doing now, I think that resonates way more than, you know, you just cutting a check to somebody. So I think it's important, because you never know. Like, think of the person that inspired President Barack Obama. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know who you're going to affect with the things that you say and the things that you do. Like, think about that person that inspired President Barack Obama. You just inspired somebody to be president. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't even know. Like, for you were just giving back your time, and you were just speaking to people. So you never know that person that you might inspire.
And some of the charities that you've worked with, Athletes for Charity, delivering books to kids in the Chicagoland area schools, Shop Till You Drop. I mean, there's so many things you've done, but there's also been someone that has been important in your life that went through a hard time, that was never judged, but he made bad choices. And became a part of your mission in life. So I know you talked about your dad for a little bit, but I think it's important for people to hear from you how you handled that, and the close relationship that you have with him, even as he got out of prison.
But like I said, my dad went to prison when I was 4, and he didn't get out till I was like 28. So, I mean, he was on lockdown for, you know, 24 years. And throughout that whole process of my dad being in jail, I used to go visit him a lot more when I was smaller. So when I was like, you know, 5 through 8 or something like that. But by the time I got to about 18 and went to Penn State, like, that's when the visiting kind of stopped, because I just got so involved with football and everything like that. But throughout that whole process, my mom never talked down about him. She just always shared stories, like positive stories of like things that he did and how he helped kids, and used to do karate and like all of this stuff. And so I think by my mom doing that, like, I never had any resentment in my heart. Like I never was mad at him. Like I was mad that he made some poor choices, but I never like hated him or anything like that. And so like my dad is an artist, and so he used to always send home like one of my favorite artists growing up was Michael Jackson. So I told my dad, hey, can you draw a picture with me and Michael Jackson, me, you, and Michael Jackson in it? So he would draw that and send it home to me, and it would just be like a masterpiece because he's just like so detailed. And you know, he would draw like all these different things, like, and he would send them home to me, and I would always keep them and everything like that. And so we kind of grew a relationship through art because that was his language. Like
Right.
he's an abstract guy, so he really doesn't like the way that he speaks. It's like nothing you ever heard before in your life. I could say, hey, Dad, what's the weather like outside? And I promise you, this would be his answer. Well, you know, the stars and the moon come together like the Jay-Z album. And if you think about the Black Album, how you going to get on transitional defense if Joe Dumars is coming down and you got LeBron out in the wings just waiting to throw a touchdown? And so you're like, what? What? But his language is art. Like he expresses everything that he does through art. And that's something that I learned about him. But anyways, when he got out of prison, I didn't believe it because he would always get denied parole like every year. So by this time I'm in the NFL and they're like, hey, your dad is getting out. And I'm just like, oh, okay, here we go again. But he actually got out. And when he got out, I got him a car. I got him some suits, you know, some basic suits, black, brown, blue, you know, just in case he had some interviews or something like that that he wanted to go to. I got him a laptop. I got him an iPod, which took months to get him like squared away with that, but that's a whole nother story. And but you know, I got him on his feet. And so instead of like greeting him with hate, like I greeted him with love. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you just did 24 years in prison. And when you get out, you're going to have somebody being like, man, you should have been there in my first game. You should have been there when I got drafted. You should have been there when I got to the NFL. Like, no, like he couldn't. Like he made some bad decisions and he's paying for it. So when he got out, he didn't need all that other type of stress. You know what I'm saying? Like stress like that is what caused people to be in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just too much stress to put on a person. So when he got out, like I greeted him with love. I was like, hey, Dad, welcome home. Here's your grandson. His name is Anthony Adams III. This is my family. I took him out. Man, we went to Fridays. This was the first time in 24 years that he ate with a silver fork. He was like, y'all just got forks and knives out on the table like this? And he started crying, man. So, you know, just getting that relationship with him, man, was like the best in the world, man. And it was like the best decision to, you know, greet my dad with love as opposed to hate.
Is that why? Did you help him? Because what was it about helping him that gave you that good feeling, right? There's a lot of people that have had, unfortunately, family gone to prison, and when they get out, they don't talk to him.
Yeah.
And what was important to you to make sure that he was able to succeed?
Well, he had to understand that somebody loved him, and like somebody that barely knows him. Like I love him. Like I carry his name. Like he's Anthony Adams Sr. I'm Anthony Adams Jr. And now he got a grandson, Anthony Adams III. Like to get like, man, I don't even want to know like all the stuff that he had to go through in prison. This is what you're going through now. You're a granddad. You know, you're my dad. I carry your blood. I carry your genes. And so for him to see that and just be around us and just interact with us and play basketball with my son. I put a video, and my dad could still hoop now too. Like my dad he was about to get a scholarship to play basketball at Kansas, and he tricked it off. He tricked it off, man, royally. But he could still go. Like I took him to I took him to a boxing workout, and all he wants to do is run. That's it. Man, I can put him on a treadmill right now, and he'll be on that thing 9 miles per hour for
the whole time.
Hours. I mean, if you saw us together, and you would think it was before and after. I mean, he is probably 135 pounds, if that. And if he gets to 140, like he'll just start running. He'll be like, man, I'm gaining too much weight, and he'll just start running. He'll go outside, and you won't see him again until about an hour or two, and he'll come back all sweaty and everything, and then he'll play basketball after that. Like he's amazing, dude. He's amazing on the workout tip. Like he'll come over here, he'll see my garage, and 4 o'clock in the morning he'll be in there cleaning. I mean, you could eat off the floor in the garage when my dad get through with it. He's amazing, dude.
Well, I know that I know he's grateful that you don't resent him for being gone, but he's grateful that you love him even so, and then are bringing him into the family.
Yeah.
And I think as we think about it from Give Together Now, we think about better together as a community. We think about each one being to help each other to create these win-win scenarios, and I think it's about the guidance too, right?
Yeah.
It's the guidance that you've been able to give your father, and to lift him up as you climb, as you said.
Dhani. Yeah. When you get those calls or you get those emails or that mail where it's like, all we need is $3,000.
Yeah.
If I get $3,000, I will give you $3 million. My dad think that stuff is real. Like I had to tell him, like, dog, this not what you want. Don't do this, Dad. Like I be having to tell him, like, man, look, that stuff is not real. So I feel like I gotta school him on what it's like to be out here in 2020 still, because now he works at Ford, and he gets benefits and everything. And my dad he on top of his job, man. Like he hustle, like he works, So I had to school him a lot of times, man. But like I say, he communicates through art, and I think the story that we did on the Players Tribune kind of paints the picture, if you will, of how my dad communicates and how we communicated through art. Because I started to pick up art too, because I wanted to be like my dad, and so I started drawing, but I started getting frustrated because I'm not as detailed as my dad is, and so I started sitting down drawing, and I did a cover of one of my favorite albums that Stevie Wonder did. It was Fulfilling This First Finale, and it took me hours to do, but I finally did it with like some color pencils and stuff like that. My dad saw it, and he was trying to give me tips and everything like that, and it was cool to see, because he was actually like speaking and putting together words that actually made sense, as opposed to, man, when you come down on the court and you hit a grand slam, you never know if the Advil is going to come, or if you're going to be the bug, or you're going to be the windshield. Like, man, what?
We know your dad's got the unique gifts of drawing. You've got the unique gifts of playing football, and then also making us laugh on some of your videos. But as I keep telling everybody out there, we're raising a lot of money. We raised already $17 million for Give Together Now, givetogethernow.org. And these are for so many families that are out there affected by COVID-19. And a lot of those families are in Detroit. Detroit is a hotbed for a lot of the COVID-19 crisis. And Spice, I know you're right there in Chicago. So thank you for that.
Terrence Hope. Terrence Hope talking about you got to interview a clown.
There's there's a couple people that here that have a couple questions, so I want to make sure I'm able to get them in here. So Tina Turner says, who are your biggest supporters in life to help you get where you are today, Spice?
My mom, and my dad. My dad is he said, I saw the Cream Bigums video. I saw it. I saw you miss all those shots. He said, man, you ever think you can make some? I saw you in a hoop before now. You come on, man. You gotta make some shots. Say, man, I saw you in an all-star game. Man, my dad, I don't know what account is coming from. I think my dad got a lurker account on Instagram, man, because I don't know who he is and I don't know how he sees it. But he got a lurker account, man. He got a burner account.
You think so?
My dad is watching this right now. I saw you on there with that. I saw you on there do that interview with Frederick Douglass. How did they get Frederick to talk in 2020?
You know, it's all right. I can take that. You know, it's all right. I can deal with that. I can deal with that. Look, so another question, Miss Westchester, how are you keeping inspired with humor when it's also a scary and stressful time?
Yeah, I think that's how I deal with it. And bless my wife, because I mean, you got to laugh to keep from crying, and I always try to find comedy in everything, man, because I think laughter is the best medicine. So a lot of times I'm either on somebody's live or I'm making a live, and I'm having a good time trying to keep my mind off of it. And my wife is like the complete opposite. So that's why I do what I do, and this is like therapeutic for me to entertain, because that's all I knew growing up. I was the only child. And so to get people to come over to my house, I would always do something crazy. Like I would fall down the stairs, or I would trip on purpose, or I'd make a joke or something like that. Or I always try to be the life of the party, so people always want to come back over to my house. And then when I played football, that was a form of entertainment. And then once I retired, I started doing all these videos for social media or whatever. So I'm always around entertainment. So that's what I do.
Well, all right. So one thing I want to do, this is just out of left field, just because I got you on. So, so if I enter character and I call myself Jessup James, I want you to be the bad guy that's coming into town, and we're gonna do a little quick skit before we.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't like this.
What do you mean? All right,
I don't like this already.
Spice. Excuse me, you can't come into our town like that. I just want to let you know, I don't know who you think you are.
Oh my gosh.
Bruh. Was it that bad? Bruh. I was trying to create a character of Jessup James. You don't like it? I gotta work on it. All right, that's fine. I'll work on it. And maybe one day I'll be able to grace the presence of you and the likes of Old School, because Old School is actually my favorite.
You got to get a Bluetooth, man.
I know. I'll get one. But so Spice, I appreciate you being on Stand Together Live. You know, you've given us a lot of tidbits in terms of lift others up as you climb, just like you talked about helping other people succeed. We talked about the inspiration of your mom and how she just dropped you off and walked away. Sometimes you got to do that with your kids. You got to put them in the situations where you can help them be successful.
She saw the vision. I couldn't see it.
And I think the last part is that notion of love that you give to your father, regardless of what he's been through, and you don't judge him, but you lift him up. And I think that's really important. Any last things you want to say as I kind of close out? Besides, you love my hat.
I think I'll just reiterate what I said earlier about, like, if you really want to get into social media and making videos and stuff like this, don't try to go viral. Don't do it. Just make something that's quality, make something that's good, and put it out for the people to see. But if you try to go viral, is never gonna work, and you're gonna be chasing it, just like how surfers always try to chase that big wave, and it's not gonna come, man. It's not gonna come, man. Terrence, good seeing you,
Terrence, what's
brother.
up, man? You like that hat?
It's okay to say no.
Jay Swanson,
You know what?
likes the hat.
My coach always said, if I tell you the truth, can we still be friends?
Go ahead, tell me the truth.
I just want to tell you the truth, man. Burn that hat. Burn it.
Love this hat.
Everybody put up the fire emojis. You know, I'm going to start it off.
Steve, what's going on? I know you like the hat.
Burn
Everybody
that hat.
can just go, you know, you can, instead of putting up the fire emoji, you can just do the claps. You know, I need a round of applause.
No.
But Spice, again, as I go to close with the hat, I really appreciate that. And I hope everybody's encouraged by some of the words that he's been able to communicate today. Hashtag givetogethernow.org. I know some of you asked the question as everybody's put the fire up of how you can give. Go to givetogethernow.org. Givetogethernow.org. There's a link in Spice's as well as my bio. 100% of your contribution, 100% goes to families that are in need. 100%. Our next episode is going to be tomorrow, once again, with DJ D-Nice.
D-Nice.
D-Nice. I got another hat for that. Don't worry about that. I'll show y'all tomorrow.
Please wear that one. Don't wear that one.
I got a different hat. I'll
wear
be
the other one.
with him. Who knows what might happen. Tune in here to Stand Together Live, and also D-Nice tomorrow. That's going to be tomorrow at 3 p.m.
D-Nice.
So, Spice, we got some work to do, man. I think we should figure this out. I got to have you on the show again because I love your story. I love what you're doing. Thank you, everybody. Spice, I appreciate that. We're out.
Yes, sir. My man.